I've covered a lot of topics, like, seriously, I've covered paper, water, applications, just more than you can name. And that was kind of the goal of this show. That's why I called it Almost Everything, because I figured if I did enough episodes, I would eventually cover almost every topic. And as I was looking back, I realized there is one important topic I still haven't talked about, and that is video games. So I decided to do it by doing one of the biggest topics imaginable, Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate just came out, and I have this idea that I've had since I was a kid, that if all of the characters from Super Smash Bros. Were to fight in real life, which one would be the winner? Now, I realize that some of you out there might not know what Super Smash Bros. Is, and that could make this episode confusing. But I'm going to do my best to explain what these characters' abilities are and show pictures of each character on the sidebars, so that hopefully you're not too confused. But first off, we're going to have to explain the rules of this battle royale. Rule number 1, no preparation time. If you're going to use your mind in battle, you're going to have to use it while fighting. Rule number 2, characters are only allowed to equip things that they would normally carry. I know this rule gets a little confusing, but basically, Link usually carries a sword, so he's allowed to have that. Or Dr. Mario usually carries around pills, so he's allowed to carry those into battle if he wants, although I'm not sure what use they're going to have against dragons and bombs and stuff like that. But just imagine this as the traditional items these characters possess, and nothing more is allowed. Rule number 3, I recognize that some of these characters in this battle are immortal and can actually lose. But for the sake of this fight, it's just going to be about being able to be taken down so much that you can't fight anymore. Being able to be ripped apart or restrained enough where fighting is no longer an option. And I think that's probably the smartest way to go. Before I begin this, I have a quick announcement. For the characters in the Super Smash Bros. Fights, we're not going by hit points. We're not looking at any of the stats in the video games. We're looking at the powers that you traditionally have in the games. We're also going to be fighting this on a level territory. There is not going to be any way to manipulate the environment. Basically, just imagine the territory as nothing. So, the battle is going to begin. We're going to do this by categories, about 5 of them, and we're going to see who is the most powerful Smash Bros. Character. First up is the weaklings. Characters like Mario and Pac Man and Isabella, you know, that cute little dog. Yeah, she's dead. She's just Ash when the fight starts. But I know it might be disappointing to see characters like Mario and Luigi and Peach on this list, but in my defense, when you stop and think about it, all Mario is this overweight plumber that might be able to jump a little higher than the normal person. He doesn't really stand a chance in a real fight against real combatants like this. And a lot of these characters are carrying around like medieval weaponry, so it's sort of like the explorers coming to the New World. I mean, the Indians didn't stand a chance, and I don't think these characters stand a chance either. The second category is Beasts. This includes characters like Donkey Kong, Bowser, King Dedede. And I do recognize that some weaklings might be able to take down a beast just using their swords and their spears and whatever. But let's face it, most of the time in real life, if a guy is dressed up in a coat of armor and has a mace with him, he's not going to be able to take down a great ape. So, for the most part, I feel pretty confident in saying the beasts are going to beat these other characters. Third, we have the stupendous Weaponeers. This includes any character that carries around a pretty modern weapon. Yeah, let's face it, in real life, we took down animals because we were smarter and we created guns and stuff, which these animals do not have a chance against. I do recognize Link is on this list, and I put him on this list because he usually does carry around bombs. That's something he usually has in pretty much every game. There are a few exceptions to that, I know, but not enough where he wouldn't usually carry around bombs. Samus is, of course, on this list. Mega Man, any character like that who has a suit of armor to protect himself against the brutality of a beast. I do recognize the beast might be able to win occasionally, but I feel confident that most of the time a machine gun is going to take down a great ape. At number 4 is the Magicians, which include characters like Ganandorf, Jigglypuff, Yoshi, and I just want to give you all an idea of how powerful these creatures are. Rosalina could teleport herself into a human being's body and they would just explode into pieces. Yoshi could just touch you with his tongue and you would be driven into his body and just shot out as an egg, and he could just destroy you and smash you into pieces. Squirtle, he can shoot out water to a point where your skin would just be ripped off of your entire body. These creatures are incredibly powerful. You have no chance against them. Just none. You would be dead the moment you stepped in. You would have like 10 seconds and you would be dead. But, believe it or not, there are characters that are even more powerful than these ones. These are the gods. And the fifth and final category, the gods. They are Sonic, Kirby, Mewtwo, and Bayonetta. So, there are two things that I think are important to a battle like this. And that's one, having a super fast reaction time, being able to take in your surroundings and being able to fight. And two, having a power that can just destroy the other contestant. Each character has something like this. Mewtwo can make people forget just by thinking, and Kirby has the ability to move at the speed of sound. But Mewtwo's attacks can sometimes be ineffective. And Kirby, I love him, he's very cute, but he may be able to move at the speed of sound, but we don't know if he has a super reaction time. And I think that's a bit of a stretch. But Sonic and Bayonetta are both described as having super fast reaction times, and Sonic's described as being super fast, so he could just move so fast he could just destroy Bayonetta. But this is why I am going with Bayonetta, the Witch. This is why. Bayonetta has been known in the past to destroy creatures that can move at the speed of light. She can freeze time and kill them. She supposedly has super agility, so yes, she could get an awareness of her surroundings. So I'm going with Bayonetta. I know that might not be everyone's pick, but in my opinion, Bayonetta is the ultimate Super Smash Bros. Character. So that's my opinion of who would win Super Smash Bros. In real life. I have to admit, I had a lot of fun with this one. I looked into a lot of science, had to figure out what all these characters' powers were, and I feel pretty confident about my choice, although I recognize this list is a little bit debatable. I mean, I won't blame you if you disagree with me. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do another one of these in this future. I'd really like to do something like literature or maybe comics, but it all depends on whether or not you guys like, share, subscribe, and basically just view. So, here's to hoping, and just because I've always wanted to do this, I'm gonna give it a try. Fatality! Fatality! A lot of fatalities. There was a lot of people. A lot of just dead creatures. Mario is just dead. Kirby, just freaking slush. Just really